basically I stopped checking my emails after 6 p.m. and I didn't realize how much my inbox owned me, right? I'm not the CEO. I'm not the COO. I'm not the vice president of operations. I'm not the VP of sales. I'm not the CRO. I'm not the senior director. Yo, so if I'm none of these upper level or executive level titles, like what's wrong with me? Like I'm not in the C suite. But yeah, my inbox owned me and I decided to try it for 7 days. So, um, mainly because I noticed a lot of things about people who seem balanced, right? So this is another thing of me trying to study people and listen to all these podcasts and interviews. Everybody who seemed balanced, like they worked hard and um they grind super hard, but I a lot of them don't mentally stay at work. We see this hustle culture that is being brought upon us where you may hear certain millionaires and billionaires and influencers say you got to grind, 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 grind. But I've noticed a lot more people who are saying they unplug, whether it's for the sake of mental health, physical health, or whatever. Um, they just don't mentally stay at work. And so they close the laptop and they mean it. And I thought that was interesting. And at least that's what I've been gathering from in context from a bunch of the videos I've been watching. Right. So you may say, oh, this person says that, but they don't mean it. Well, I'm just going based off what they say. Anyway, so I tried it. Right. So for 7 days, no emails after 6 p.m. as my phone and emails are going off. So no, I'm just checking, no quick replies, no scrolling before bed. If it came in after 6 p.m., I waited till the morning. And let's talk about how after 6 p.m. became so normal for me. In sales, you're always on. So in B2B sales, you're always looking for your next deal. You're always worried about the progress of your pipeline. So you're always checking emails, especially when you're working with people on multiple time zones. And you're hoping to move those sales cycles along, get paid, right? Commission. So that was one layer of it. But then post pandemic, where we really just started working at the house, it seemed all cool and fun. Everybody had their Zoom with the drinks and costumed and theme days. But when they start sending the two screens to the house and your laptop and your phone and your router, I think something happened, not just to me, but a lot of people, where now you hear that ping and you're sitting at the couch watching TV. You like, I could just go there and answer it real quick. You feel productive. And for a minute, and for a moment, it kind of is productive, especially if you're not doing anything. But it then becomes a habit baked into your day where you're not really maximizing your time for anything. Like everything is stretched. And this is coming from somebody who believes in work life rhythm, right? So I don't believe you're off, and I can't be off technically because I'm always and have always been in sales. But a lot of times the things that we're responding to is not urgent. And we've developed a culture of urgency for the sake of doing it because I can. So we've just like messed up expectations. So anyway, um, just like Zoom calls, like a lot of these Zoom calls can be emails. But anyway, off on a tangent. But that's how I think I got there. Between COVID and between being in sales, I just randomly check the phone in bed, out of bed, sitting around the house, way too much. So um when I started night one, 6 p.m., I'm reaching for my phone at least 20 times before I could finally like say, all right, bro, you gotta chill. This is an issue. Um, and it was just that habit, bro. That habit was crazy. And here's the thing. I'm somebody who works really hard to like get most things taken care of. And even to the point where 4, 5, 6 o'clock, I'm calling people like, hey, just wanted to check in. Don't know if I need to do anything for this deal or that. I like usually check in around at 4 to 5 o'clock, especially when you're on different time zones with people. So my 4 o'clock could be someone's 7. So I've talked to them at 1, and then my 4 could be somebody's 4 if they're on the West Coast, or 5 on the West Coast. So I've kind of made sure that, hey, the people on the East Coast, don't need me and aren't going to reach out till tomorrow. And the people on the West Coast are good too, right? So, long story short, it was just a habit. It was just a habit that needed to die, especially because I was just doing stuff, right? Like sometimes you end up on a laptop and because you're not really dedicated to being productive, you read things too long, you're indecisive, or you're responsive, but then you go on to doing other stuff and then you feel caught up at work and it feels good, but then it just becomes a normal thing where you're just always working. And then you get sick out of nowhere. And it's because you realize you've been staying up way too late because you've been working, but you feel good because you're ahead of work every day, but not really. Because now you lost 3 days because you had to take off work because you're sick. So long story short, but yeah, I was surprised once I finally could get out of that habit, how much quieter my mind felt, like the shift in my evenings feeling longer. Um, and guess what? None of my deals died. So I like, that's where I got mad because you know how you create these narratives and truths in your head about how things have to go? And then you almost have a self fulfilling prophecy because you're now executing based off the truth you created in your head. Yeah, none of my deals died. I definitely did the work on the front end to make sure nothing was really needed at 6 p.m. Unless, again, these emergencies happen to come up, but they definitely didn't. And so, yeah, none of the deals died. Like these are complex sales, long sales, and people aren't just at night, random rapid fire asking me questions. Like people are thinking through strategy and long term deals and how much is this going to cost? What's our payback? What's our run rate? They're not just sending me random questions, right? Every now and then somebody will text me or send me an email about something, but it's never been something so urgent where they needed an answer right now. So yeah, none of my deals died, no emergencies exploded. And I'm not saying that this can't happen where deals go go awry or emergencies happen and you got to put these fires out. But no, overall, everything was quieter. My week was quieter. My week nights felt longer. And so I felt more vibrant at work and aware at work because I had legitimately from 6 on not thinking about work until I woke up the next day. Um yeah, so it just made me kind of reconsider things, right? And I even started to put in certain things that I did late at night into my closeout of business at 5 and 6 p.m., which was like, hey, know what I'm doing tomorrow? Look at my calendar, remind myself of things I need, remind myself what time I need to wake up, make sure everything is prepared for whatever presentations or meetings I'm gonna have. And I just did it at 5 instead of like, oh, okay, work till 5, 6, mad dash home or whatever, and then just sit on the couch and just kind of do that at home while I'm watching TV. I guess you don't lose anything by doing it while you're at home doing nothing, but you're definitely not present in your peace. And at home is supposed to be peaceful, and your time away from work is supposed to be peaceful and rejuvenating so you can go back to work. So, yeah, I made major gains in that. My nights were way more enjoyable. When I had something to sip on, it was because I wanted to. Like I even added more flavors or tried to make different cocktails versus, yo, I'm about to get on this work grind. Tequila on the rocks. Nothing wrong with tequila on the rocks or tequila and soda water, but I was, in my head, it was like gully grind mode. It wasn't I'm chilling mode, right? So, but when I was like, oh, okay, I'm just chilling tonight. I was getting the smoothie mix that I buy at Costco, and I was like, I wonder how this tastes with it. Or I wonder if we add this to this. I was just having fun. I was having a ball. And so, yeah, I got my nights back. And now the trick is, how do I keep this? How do I extend that? That I don't know. These are just my notes from having a really good week of not answering my emails after 6 p.m. But it took me to like day 3 to really relax. So the last 4 days were super fruitful. I'm going to try to make it today to the another day, day 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. But yeah, I liked it. Um, and so for me, that 6 p.m. changed everything. Now 6 p.m., 7 p.m. seems like joyful. because I know, yo, these next 3 hours or 4 hours, I'm about to have a blast. So try it. Try to release yourself from the inbox and see what happens.